and I'd tell him how uncomfortable I was, how much I didn't like being hurt all the time.
If any chatter in this stream or any person in this like community ever thinks about defending domestic abuse or anything like that, or anything in that vein, or anything that fucking serious, all right, you have no place here.
You all are aware of the stuff that's went down with Wilbur.
Someone in chat said, why are you getting so involved? Because of people like you who think that this topic isn't important.
And he knew all of the ways that would hurt me the most. And he knew he was hurting me. There was no way that he didn't know because of the safe word that he made. And he just didn't care. He was hurting me and he didn't care. And even looked like he was enjoying it.
Yeah. He was fighting me.
And do not mistake, I stand with Shelby 100%, I support her all the way.
This is not some petty drama, this is not some Twitter thing. I'm not putting my voice into drama that is just a stupid little thing that's gonna blow over tomorrow. This is abuse.
He started biting me more and more over a period of time, sort of throughout the whole relationship.
I think that response was so fucking unbelievable. There is zero redeemable qualities.
Actually, Will bites me, throws me sometimes, and I get so many bruises all the time.
I have never, or anything I've ever seen of him, have never, ever been anything like what's been detailed.
Now at this point, weaponized the safe word and was using it to ensure that I was hurt and on a constant basis. And he wasn't sorry anymore.
All this stuff that I've heard over the past few days from not only her, but people in the replies saying what they experienced, I just didn't know that any of that was going on, and it's obviously been incredibly shocking.
There are victims involved in this, and you guys are treating it like it's Twitter drama. It's not. This is a serious thing.
But I felt so unwanted and ignored.
Stop acting like this is something that's gonna be blown over within a week.
And I would tell him that, and then he would reassure me that he wanted to be together and he loved me. He loved me more than I loved him, even. He would always insist that that was true, like that. I love you more.
Stop saying Wilbur is cancelled. He's not cancelled, he's an abuser.
A few days ago, a popular streamer by the name of Shubble publicly released information about her being abused. I want to quickly clarify, Shubble herself did not mention the name of the abuser, but it was soon found out that the abuser was Wilbur Soot. Now, if you don't know who Wilbur Soot is, Wilbur Soot was basically a YouTuber and also a Twitch streamer at the same time. At the time of recording this, Wilbur has come out with a response, and honestly, it's probably one of the worst responses I've seen. The most of the response is just, it's mostly about him, and only a little bit is about Shubble, the literal person he brought into danger and abused. But yeah, Shubble also made a Twitch stream where she basically said everything about her relationship with Wilbur, and I think it is a very important, I think it's a very important take and very important thing we need to listen to. And honestly, I would recommend you all go watch her VOD. If you want more detail, I'm just gonna be going through the main things here. So the first thing we're gonna go over here is Shubble mentioning that Wilbur would bite her and keep biting her until she was in so much pain that she would scream, and reportedly that Wilbur's been doing this since a young age, also reportedly from his own mother saying this.
He had this habit of biting, which is so weird to me now, but he said that he had this habit since he was a kid, and even his mom said that that was true. And he said it was just affectionate, and that might have been, I think that might have been true maybe at the start, but I also feel that I have good reason to believe that every part of it was a lie, but that's just my personal opinion. And I had no problem with just biting. That isn't even the most uncommon thing. But he did mention something early that I should have taken as a red flag. And he wanted to make sure that I was okay with him biting me because he didn't want me to come back later and say that he abused me, which I thought was really weird considering he had never hurt me before. And so why would I call it abuse? And why was he thinking about that? And I thought he was being sweet, checking on me to make sure that I was still comfortable. Of course I was, because he hadn't hurt me. And why would I think he ever would?
Now I'll say I'm not one to kink shame, but I will say biting another human being is weird. Now Shubble was okay with the biting for some part, but I still find it pretty weird. And what she does say is your first instinct is not that your lover and your partner is going to hurt you.
And then he did, for the first time, by accident. And I don't specifically remember the actual first time that he bit me too hard by accident because I didn't think that it would be significant. I thought that it would only happen once. And he started biting me more and more over a period of time, sort of throughout the whole relationship. And accidents of him biting too hard and really hurting me happened more and more frequently. But he always seemed genuinely sorry. And he decided that he didn't want to keep accidentally hurting me. So we were going to use a safe word. So he could learn where my limit was, where my pain tolerance ended.
So basically now they made a safe word that Shubble would say if Wilbur was biting on her too hard, which inevitably Wilbur weaponizes to, to fucking dig in deeper.
And he disguised it as this really quirky part of our relationship and was so comfortable sharing it with his friends to the point that he would do it in front of them. He thought it was this really funny story to tell.
Okay, obviously I feel bad for Shubble, but honestly, if I were those friends, I couldn't imagine seeing my best friend across the table from me grabbing his girlfriend's arm and fucking chomping on it. It's so weird. Like, I genuinely feel bad for her. This is not even me making jokes. Like, this is actually, like, fucked.
And a good bit to take my arm and bite me in front of everybody until I literally shout in pain. And then I have to laugh it off because I'm so embarrassed and I don't want to cause a scene in front of all of our friends. And I'm sure everyone was a little bit uncomfortable, but as long as I was saying that it was fine, nobody really felt like they needed to be concerned, and that's not anybody's fault because I was lying. I was lying, and it wasn't fine because I would go home later and I'd tell him how uncomfortable I was, how much I didn't like being hurt all the time. And I needed him to really stop biting so hard. I didn't like it, and I tried telling him over and over again because he wasn't actually trying at all to not hurt me. But he said he would try at first. And then he started saying things like it was my pain tolerance that was too low, or I'm exaggerating how much it actually hurts. He's not even biting that hard. I'm being dramatic. But his biting escalated to a point where I was covered in bruises all over my arms, and they hurt, and he would poke at them for fun. And he even felt so comfortable showing off my bruises that he had caused to our friends because he would bite me so hard by accident. By accident, he would even joke that it looked like he abused me.
Like, I genuinely feel bad for her. Like, this is actually a really fucked situation. Wilbur is just an asshole. Like, I cannot believe I used to watch this man and think he was, like, an idol in a way. Basically, now she goes into what kind of horrendous environment Will lived in. Like, he would pour drinks on the ground, like not even water, like probably like fucking soda or something, and he wouldn't even clean it. He'd just leave that. His clothes, no detergent. I don't know if he would even wash them. He would only wash them when she was there because she would clean them for him. He wouldn't. He's basically using her and abusing her in the same time. Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
And then we'd be there in person, and all he wants to do is stay inside, play games on his computer, watch movies. He doesn't want to go out. And I'm not saying any of this next part to be mean. He lived in filth like I have never seen. And I've seen filth. This was the worst. He would spill things on the floor and never, literally never, clean them up. He got an ant infestation once and wasn't going to do anything about it because he said, bugs are normal in British houses. So I had to buy ant killer. And he wouldn't clean his bathroom for months and months and months, but would constantly complain about how bad it smelled. And I would tell him, that's mold. It's mold. He'd complain about being tired all the time too, which I don't know if that was a lie or not, but mold will do that too. But he would insist that it wasn't somehow without having cleaned in months, but it's not mold. When I met him, he was washing his clothes without detergent. Just it wasn't using that at all. And I don't know for how long before I met him. He was just running it with water and then hanging it on his filthy kitchen cabinets. And I felt bad. I felt bad because I felt like he needed someone to help him learn how to be cleaner. I thought he just didn't know how. And I listened to all of the struggles of his upbringing and I was like, he just doesn't know how. Someone just needs to show him.
What the actual fuck? My guy would not clean his clothes. If anything, he'd run it through water. No detergent, by the way. And hang his clothes on his kitchen cabinets. He wouldn't clean his bathroom for months. Okay, months. It's something else if it's a couple days, but months. He actually lives. He actually lives in the filth. Oh my god. But yeah, this is also the part where he's like using her in a way so she would clean for him. I mean, bless her. She thought he doesn't know how to clean even though he's like 26. Like I said, I feel so sorry for her, like being in so many relationships and most of them ending very poorly. Like whatever, she got sexually assaulted, now she got abused. Like, I genuinely feel bad for her. This won't go without justice. Will definitely face the consequences and get a proper punishment. I hope Wilbur knows where to find a good lawyer because he's gonna fucking need him. Watching this whole video, I just felt more and more sorry for her, what she went through. I genuinely can't. If you told me in 2020 this is how Will is in the future, I would tell you you're full of shit. That is not Will. I genuinely hope she gets, like, she mentioned she went to therapy. If she's still going, I wish her the best, and I hope she's doing well and she gets better. And now the part of the video where we read Will's response. So response number 1. In the past week, a series of allegations have been made over my conduct from an ex-girlfriend. I want to emphasize that although I feel it fair to offer my perspective, this person's feelings are completely valid. I have taken my time sharing this statement as I wanted to process and respond respectfully and with the hope to gain a deeper understanding for the situation. During our relationship's final months, I regrettably became slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish. These actions have caused a lot of pain to my ex-girlfriend, and I've since sought therapy to address these behaviors, making significant lifestyle changes to rectify my past actions. I've come to realize how much my past behavior hurt this person, but I truly, compassionately believe I have made great strides from the person I once was, and hope I can continue to grow and improve in this trajectory. This is a point I've seen a lot of people on Twitter say, that he's making a lot more centered around him than talking about her. And I can see it. He's talking about himself, grow. Like, it's an apology. You should make an apology, not saying you're going to fucking therapy. That's not an apology. Then we have the second part of this great apology. The allegation of abuse, particularly in the form of biting, deeply shocked me. It shocked you? Jesus Christ, what? If you were shocked, I was flabbergasted. Throughout our relationship, I understood from our numerous conversations and text message exchanges, on the subject that this behavior was consensual, playful, and reciprocally enjoyed. I truly believe those personal message exchanges reflect mutual affection and understanding. Out of respect of her, I chose not to publish them, and I emphasize my perspective is not to share or diminish or invalidate anyone's feelings. He's also probably not sharing it because if he shared like the screenshots, he'd be called a bigger asshole than he already is. Instead, I share it in the hope that I can offer a genuine, fair, and relevant insight into an understanding of the situation. While I may perceive our interactions differently, I recognize that the person has proceeded to express feelings of hurt. That's the only thing he said so far that I can agree with. That she's expressed feelings of hurt. You know, shit, you bit down on her arms and legs. I want to extend my sincerest apologies for any pain that I caused. I'm fully committed to understanding and addressing her concerns going forward. I don't think she's gonna talk to you going forward. If anything, she's gonna fucking blacklist you from her life. I hope my perspective sheds light on the situation without distracting from this message. It's shining a fucking eclipse. There's no light. It's an eclipse. I am dedicated to earning and maintaining the trust of those around me, and hope I continue to be held to these high standards I wish to attain and maintain. Motherfucker, you fell off harder than Sniper Wolf. I don't know how that is even possible. You're charged with domestic abuse. There is no, we forgive you, Will. You're literally a criminal. Well, anyway, that's my opinion on the topic. I don't think I did a very well job of covering it, but I went through most of it. Again, if you want to watch the full VOD, go and check out go check out her channel. It will be there, and thank you for watching. See ya.